playoff football, baby. We got divisional rounds this weekend, son, starting tomorrow. First game we are going to talk about, though, is the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. We kind of hit it at some of these previews on our last show, but we're going to dive a little deeper into some of these jaunts. And, when I look at this matchup here, Bills sitting at -2.5. I said last week that line could have been anything, and I believe it at this point. This is a weird game for me because the Bills are just super hot right now and the Ravens are super hot right now. So it's going to kind of boil down to just who can, I guess, slow each other down enough to just pull off the win. Because, like I said, I like the Ravens defense going into this game to be able to put the pressure on Buffalo. But like I said, just Josh Allen and them boys on offense have been so hot lately. And I don't really know what to make of this game. I feel like this is either going to be like a 17-10 game or we might be looking at a 40-30 something going on. I really don't know what's about to happen. Lamar Jackson has been feeling himself the past couple of weeks, ending off the season, and then last week against the Titans. So he's going to be handful. And, I don't know if the Bills are necessarily going to be able to stop that. I'd like to see what the Ravens game plan going into this game is. And obviously with the Bills, just with that elite defense from the Ravens, and, they got a good front seven. I like their secondary. So like I said, Bills sitting at -2.5 right now. To think that the Bills would win by a field goal, I mean, that 100% could happen. It's totally not unbelievable. I could see that happening for sure. But like I said, if that was reversed, if the Ravens were -2.5, I'm okay with that too. Like I said, this is weird. The under-over on the point, 49.5. Oh, man, I don't know, brother. 49.5. This is a tough one, dude. These are two really good teams. I feel like this game right here is the hardest one to kind of gauge out of these.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's going to happen here, dude. We're in the quarterfinals here. We got 8 teams left. I mean, shit's just tight. Everyone's good at this point, so you got to consider all that. But looking at this Ravens and Bills matchup here, I really think this is a terrible, terrible matchup for the Bills. They've been struggling all year with rush defense. I mean, they average 5 yards to the left, 6 yards to the right on every carry throughout the whole season. Like, that's ridiculous. I think Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, and Lamar Jackson are going to combine for at least 200 rush yards on this Bills defense. They're going to shred them. They're going to shred them on the ground. But the other side of that coin is, like, the Bills' offense is so good. They're on fire. And Josh Allen, like, we said it so many times at this point, but he's just having an MVP season. He really is. I mean, his progression, he's just lighting people up out there. I'm not going to hammer the point anymore. But I don't know. Like you said, though, I mean, the Bills -2.5 win by a field goal. Like, that doesn't sound crazy either. If I had to pick, I do lean towards the Ravens on a money line. I don't like that tight spread for either of these teams. I don't know, dude. It really is a toss up, but I like Ravens a little bit better.
If I had to put a stamp on things right now, I like Ravens money line. I'm going to take Ravens 2.5 plus the 2.5.
To take that spread.
I'll take that spread. I'm not touching the over/under on the points because, like I said, I don't know how this is going to go.
You're right. They're either going to lock each other up, and we're going to see both these offenses struggle, or they're both going to excel, and it's going to be like 30 points on each side.
Yeah, they're just going to bust it wide open. And like you said, I definitely the running game from the Ravens. I think they're going to get theirs for sure.
They're going to get that. Lamar especially is going to get his.
Yeah, for sure. And the only reason I do like the Ravens, I think, is Stephon Diggs has been having a phenomenal year, obviously, but Ravens.
Cole Beasley too in the slot has been insane. Stephon Diggs is leading the league in receptions. I mean,
yeah, no, he's phenomenal. But I just think the Ravens secondary's got some guys that can lock that down. I think good enough to do something and maybe throw Josh Allen off. Like I said, that rush defense. I think we'll be able to get to him.
The problem isn't the Bills' offense for me, not at all. I'm worried about their defense.
No, like I said, it feels like it's the Ravens' defense versus the Bills' offense, but the Ravens also do really have a good offense too. So that's why I'm gonna just give them the edge here. So I don't know. We'll get more into that, but I like the Ravens here plus the 2.5. I'll take that. I'm okay with that. Second game we're going to talk about here is who's the second game on that schedule, AFC side of things? Who's it?
We got the Browns at the Chiefs. We got Chiefs favorited -10 here, under over 57 on them. And, this is another one. It just feels, right? It just feels like the Chiefs are supposed to stick their entire fist in the Browns' brown eye. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels like it's supposed to be bad. Andy Reid is 18-3 in the regular season, 5-2 in the playoffs, off a bye. And this Chiefs team just knows how to figure out football games. I mean, they haven't covered the spread, I don't think, once all year. Like, they have been tight games, but when it gets to that moment where it's like, okay, we need one here, they could just go out and do it. They're going to figure it out. So, oh, man, dude, this is going to be a good game. I think both Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb have to have an insane game. And on top of that, Baker has to be on point. We've seen games where he's super consistent, has a great game this season. We need all three of them. They just have to play lights out. They're playing the best team in football.
No, they really are. And I mean, I think, the Chiefs obviously don't have the strongest front seven. But like you said, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb got to come out and do what they do.
They have to. And just real quick, sorry to interrupt you again, but last year in the playoffs, that's when that Chiefs defense really just turned it on and started snapping. So, think about that going in. I mean, realistically, the Chiefs defense has to play one good month of football, and they're gonna get another chip.
Yeah, and I mean that comes down to just really good coaching too, is being able to come out and play both sides when it matters the most, obviously. And like you said, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt got to get theirs to open that up for Baker. Because here's my thing: obviously they demolished the Steelers. We talked about that last week and whatnot. Oh, yeah. But I mean, can they pull that off again? I'm not sure.
Well, see, that's the thing though too. If the Chiefs are down 28-0 in the first quarter, the Chiefs aren't out of that game.
No, Patrick Mahomes can run up 30 points in like 10 minutes. So I'm not afraid of that at all. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. I mean, that's a good point. Comparing that to the Steelers situation, like I said, 28 points can get covered by the Chiefs in a half or a quarter, like nothing. You look up and they got 28 points, and so that's going to be my things. Can the Browns keep their composure, and can Baker stay consistent? I feel like that's what it's going to come down to, because the Chiefs are going to get theirs, and the Browns, we might be looking at potential shootout. Can Baker and the Browns keep up with what the Chiefs are about to deliver on offense?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I like the Browns defense to maybe, make some
Myles Garrett has to have his best game all season. It has to happen. Yeah,
I mean, this has to be the game that he does it. And, like I said, I am rooting for the Browns, but overall I do like the Chiefs. Like I said, I'm not touching that spread or anything like that.
I don't trust it, dude. I mean, if you're a huge Browns fan, you got a lot of faith. Those 10 points might look juicy, but the Chiefs to cover the spread this season is just not the move. You're losing money on that all 18 weeks.
Yeah, and this just feels like the Chiefs. I don't know. To me, it feels like the Chiefs are just going to win this game. And I think if the Browns lose, like I said, for the Browns organization, I think that's okay. I don't think if it's a competitive game and they look good and maybe can hang in there. I mean, I think that's all just a positive for the Cleveland Browns going forward, to be able to say they hung in there with the Chiefs. That's bulletin board material. You can work with follow into the next season, but just everything points to me with the Chiefs here. Like you said, Andy Reid coming off a bye, they've had a week to go in and watch tape and whatnot. And listen, I'm not saying the Browns can't come close to what they did last week against the Steelers, but the Steelers just kind of imploded, and that was a mess, and the Browns just took full advantage. That felt more just personal, and the Browns just
I mean, that's just years upon years of just getting hate on either sides of the ball. I mean, that's a huge rivalry. So I mean, that was what it was, but this Chiefs team is something else, bro. It's literally a whole different game playing against the Chiefs. So
it really is, dude. Patrick Mahomes is just cut from a different cloth.
And they got that boy Stefanski back on the sideline, which will be nice for this game for them.
So I mean, hey, and all, not looking at any line or any spread or anything like that, I do think the Chiefs pull this one off. My thing is just whether or not the Browns can keep it competitive or not.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the Browns fucking swing this win out of here, dude?
If the Browns win this game, they're gonna win the Super Bowl. That's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it might be one of them fucking Cinderella Disney-ass stories that, it could just happen. The Browns.
Turns out they got Hard Knocks with Freddie Kitchens. It was a bad turnout on that.
No,
but yeah, dude, I mean, you don't know. I mean, we said this a little bit earlier, but these 8 teams left all legitimately have a case to win it.
Well, yeah, true. And I'm not gonna lie though. I just do think the Browns are the weakest. If we had to look at all teams, I think the
For
Browns
sure.
are the eighth best team and best in this scenario. I mean, worst but best because they are in the playoffs. There's only 8 teams left. But and just a couple of things allude to that. One is just Stefanski technically has never coached a playoff game before. So I mean, this is his first game back on the sideline, and just like I said, like 90% of that roster up until last week had never been into a playoff game. And I just feel like with Patrick Mahomes doing what he does, obviously Andy Reid's being one of the best coaches of all time and just the experience on that Chiefs side of things, they're going to be able to take advantage. I feel like the Browns right now, for real, they're just playing with a lot of heart and a lot of energy, which is great, and that's fine. And maybe they come into this game a little too ahead of themselves. We saw Chase Claypool and Juju talking a little shit, saying they were going to get bounced by the Browns, and maybe that does fuel a little fire or something. They go out there and smack some shit around, but we'll see. I'm so hyped to watch that game. But we're going to move on to the next game here. Going to move on to a little NFC side of things. We're going to talk about a little Los Angeles Rams and the Green Bay Packers. Here's my thing about this.
Okay, yeah, what you got?
17 weeks where I'm fucking with the Rams. I think out of all these teams here, this is this sort of Saints is probably the worst matchup for Aaron Rodgers. Just the Rams having the best defense in the league, arguably one or two right there with the Saints.
Oh, yeah.
If the Packers do move forward, it's not going to be easy. But here's my case with the Rams. I just think, the Packers do have a great offensive line, but you're obviously going to have to double Donald. The Rams got other.
Well, Bakhtiari is out for this game, so I mean that's
not good because you have to double Donald, or that boy is going to hurt Aaron Rodgers for sure. And like I said, the Rams got other good dudes on that offensive line or defensive line. Brockers and Morgan Fox and whatnot that can go out there and take advantage of those double teams that Donald gets all game. And like I said, I just like the matchup for them. And one of the biggest things, I think one of the more attractive things about this game is going to be that Jalen Ramsey, Devontae Adams matchup. Just two great players. So my thing with that is like Devontae Adams is still going to be able to make some plays, but Jalen Ramsey is going to make some plays too. I think that's just going to be a perfect yin-yang. Devontae is going to get some balls. Jalen Ramsey is going to get some stops. That's probably going to be a great back and forth all game. So with the Packers side of things, that's where you need those your Scantlings and your Lazards to step up and really, you know what I'm saying? Every single year, there's always a playoff team, or there's always a run where there is that one, unsung hero or something guy that comes out of the woodworks and proves something. And maybe, like I said, a Lazard or something can be that guy and steps up for Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, I think Devontae's still going to eat a little bit, but Jalen Ramsey's going to eat.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with everything you're saying there, but there's no way they're going to just one-on-one, man up on Devontae the whole game with Jalen, because, Jalen is a great corner. He's going to shut him down, but they have to beat the Packers with a scheme. Like with Aaron Rodgers being the level of quarterback he is, and with Devontae's brake pedals the dude's got on him, like they're going to get completions. You cannot play that one-on-one the whole game. You're going to get burnt. So they're going to have to try to out-scheme him. But those moments when we do have that one-on-one, that Devontae on Jalen, dude, that is going to be primetime football. Get you popcorn, all right, dude? That's hype for that. Also on the Rams defense, Aaron Donald is probably the best player in football right now. I don't think it's crazy to say that. I mean, if the MVP award wasn't so tailored kind of towards a quarterback, it's Aaron Donald for me. I mean, he's clearly a defensive player, and I think he should be in the MVP conversation. He's having an insane season, insane career. Like, that's just a different type of human, dude. Talk about built different, all right?
Because if you're evaluating, I agree with what you said. Like, he might be
the best player in football
1
right
to
now.
100 scale, just the value. If you're looking at the values of positions, you could argue that Donald is so much more valuable on that inside line position than anyone at quarterback. If you were to start a franchise tomorrow and could only take one player,
that's what I'm saying. And, they're right there in this. For me, the question's going to lie with the Rams offense. I mean, Goff is going to get the start. He's still injured. I mean, Wolford is indefinitely out with that neck injury, so we hope that dude's all right. Don't like to see that shit. But I think they have a better chance with Goff in there. I mean, that's their franchise boy. You want to see him play even with a bum thumb. Rhymes, bars right there. But another thing for me here is Cam Akers has to have a huge game. every time the Packers lost this season, the other team rushed for 140 yards. So can Cam Akers rush for 140 yards to beat the Packers? That's the question for me.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of like we were talking about with the Ravens and the Bills. I think it's going to be the Bills' offense against the Ravens' defense. I think we're going to kind of say the same thing here. I think it's going to be the Packers' offense versus the Rams' defense. And like I said, I think if the Rams win this football game, it's got to be on that offense. It's just going to really come down to Jared Goff and, like you said, Cam Akers, who I think they can do something. I think they'll be able to pull off some stuff.
I think they're going to be able to move the ball for sure. I'm not sure if Green Bay covers the spread here, but excuse me, I do think Green Bay wins straight up.
Hey, listen, as much as I've been hyping up the Rams and just, I still think, hey, I'm gonna stick to my fucking guns, bro. Rams win this football game. I'm not.
That's a major upset in my eyes.
I'm not taking
that's a major upset.
I think they can win this football game. I really do. I think if Jared Goff can come into this game and do half of what he did a couple of years ago when they were on their Super Bowl run, they can win this football game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to stick with that. Like I said, I'm not taking the +6.5.
Just straight up win the game. Money line.
I think they can win this football game.
What do you think about that under-over? I don't like the over just because I'm so sus on this LA offense. I've been all season, dude. I've been saying that the whole time. Like, their problem is obviously not on defense. It's just, can they put points on the board? I mean, that under-over's low, 45.
That is really low. But, listen, I don't think the Packers are going to be able to run up the scoreboard as easily as people think. I really don't. This Rams defense is legit. We saw, comparing apples to oranges with Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, but yeah. Rams were able to hold their thing down and keep them to 20. I don't know if the Rams can.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they get some stops, but I don't think the Packers punt at least. I don't think they punt more than 3 times.
Oh.
They're just so efficient, so good. I'm hyped for the game. Don't get me wrong. This is, some fat matchups going on, but I don't know, man. Like, it just feels like they should break that over. It really does feel that way.
Yeah, no, 45 is super low. I think last week going in the Rams and the Seahawks was like 48 or something, and they went the over on that. So I don't know. 45 is just always so low, dude.
I know. It's so hard to tell. It really feels betting wise. This week is just, there's a whole lot of toss ups going on.
Like in all reality, I feel like the Packers do win this game, but I'm sticking with my guns, man. Rams win this game. Okay. I'm going to keep the money line on them. Like I said, no spread. I'm not touching anything else, just money line. Rams get the dub. We get the only thing, in the Rams, like I said, they're out there practicing in LA and whatnot and got to go to Lambeau. It's going to be cold.
Jared Goff in the cold. That's a whole nother storyline right there.
Nah, Rams win this football game. Count me in. Come see me Tuesday when they do. I'm going to be on bullshit when they do. So I'm hyped to see that. Man, I went deep on that one. I said it here first. Rams win that football game. I think if the Rams win that football game, they fuck around and might win the Super Bowl. But, yeah, we're going to move off that, talk about the last game we have, Sunday night's game. That's the Buccaneers and the Saints. I think this is going to be a game for the ages just because we're seeing Tom Brady, Drew Brees in a playoff setting, something we've never seen before. 2 old-ass men out there. We saw a great graphic somebody did. I don't know who it was. It was like a History Channel thing. Yeah. Had them up there all photoshopped, looking old. And, this is another one where it's like my gut tells me I think the Saints have a better roster.
Yeah.
But I think the matchup works kind of out well for the Bucs. And like I said, we're talking divisional round, Tom Brady. It's kind of like we're just dealing with something else that, what I'm saying? It's Tom Brady. I want the Buccaneers. Oh, man, this is another tough one, dude. We got the Saints sitting at -3 right now, and that's not far-fetched at all. I think, that goes to show the respect that we're showing the Bucs, for the Saints. It'd obviously be close, only having them winning by over a field goal, which I think they can do. But, I think the Bucs are going to be able to come out and get points. I think if Fournette can catch a whiff of what he was able to do last week, they'll be able to do something, because I like Washington's front seven better than I like the Saints. And obviously that game last week was kind of close, a little too close for comfort for the Bucs. But if they can kind of go out and scheme around, base things off of what they were able to do to that front seven that the Redskins have, they could probably pull something off here. I think this is just going to come down to the Bucs defense and being able to handle what they've thrown at them. Because like I said, this is the third time these teams have met, and the Saints got them the first two. And you said something last week where it's like, I just don't see Tom Brady losing
three times to the same team. Yeah, I feel you. But for me, this is the best matchup for both of these teams. Like, I mean, just like, I didn't word that correctly at all. This is the most hype game I think that there is all weekend. This is ridiculous. This is Sunday night prime time. And just both these dudes, like you said, I mean, this is just like fairy tale writing on the storyboard type shit game going on right here. Super hype. Prediction wise, no idea what's going to go on here. Literally no idea. I definitely want to lean towards the over on that 51.5. Both these offenses are just electric, putting up mean points all year. And I don't know who's going to win this.
Tough, bro.
I'm not even going to say anything because I got no nothing.
Yeah, no, I lean towards the over on this because, like I said, I just think these two teams, the offenses are going to outweigh the defense. But, a spread, dude, I'm not even fucking looking at that because I just don't know. This might come down to, when you're dealing with Tom Brady, dude, Saints might be up a field goal. You give Tom Brady 2 minutes left in the first quarter, 1:40 left. Like,
I know, but you can say the same thing about Drew Brees and these Saints. So this is gonna be a fire game.
It really is. This is like, I mean, all these games are going to be hype. We're obviously all going to be watching, but like you said, this is some history book type shit. Obviously this potentially might be Drew Brees' last game. We ever see him play quarterback
in the Superdome.
And obviously, Brady's probably going to go another year or two. Said he wants to go to his 45, bro. He looks like he's going to fucking do it, bro. Like,
I mean, and that's the thing with Tom Brady. It's like year after year, we're just waiting for this dude to get bad, and he's just not. You know what I mean? Like, he's just still good. Like,
he's so good, dude. A 43-year-old man out there just racking up tugs, winning playoff games. And I'm going to reiterate something I said last week because I know everybody has been – selling stock on the Bucs just because of, beating the teams in the regular season and obviously having a close one with Washington. But, like I'm saying, I feel like they're going to be able to put up a strong enough game plan. Tom Brady's IQ. Like I say, you're just dealing with a very good quarterback head coach combo on both sides.
Both.
Two guys, 4 guys that have just been in the trenches, been in some deep runs. Obviously, the Saints for a couple years in a row had some mishaps in the playoffs. Obviously, Minnesota Miracle, and then that PI call in that Rams game. So,
and looking at this Saints though too. I mean, we were talking about this on the show a little bit on Tuesday, but the Saints have been building this thing for the past 3 to 5 years. I mean, they're not going to have it for much longer. So, I mean, they got to have some sort of sense of urgency and all or nothing. We were saying the same thing about the Colts before they got that fat L on their foreheads, but you know what I mean? They just feel like, it's kind of now or never on them.
Well, I think as long as the Saints get the quarterback figured out next year, I mean, I do think they'll be all right. Like I said, they got Kamara locked down. They got Michael Thomas under contract. I think they'll be all right, just depending on where they want to go in that route. But, hey, dude, this 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we in this bitch. So I'm going to be watching the shit out of that game. Like I said, this is one for the books. I'm going to go ahead. We got to make a prediction right now. Oh, man, I don't know, brother.
Snap reaction. Who you got, Bucs or Saints?
I got Bucs.
Don't think.
I got Bucs. I'm going to put my best.
All right, I'll ride with the Saints then, bro. We'll just see what happens here.
I'm going to put all my eggs into Tom Brady's basket, which that sounds mad sus. But
hey, that's nothing crazy. I mean, we'll just let it rip. But, I mean, I don't know. That game's hype as fuck.